Want to communicate effectively in English? Reach out, connect with others. Don't hold yourself back. Move on, the world is waiting. Empower yourself in English. Visit powerenglishbylana.com. Hi, welcome to the grammar lesson in theory. What does it mean? It means that in this video, I will share with you some tips and ideas how to learn, revise, and actually use verb tenses. So what happens in practice is, first, students know the theory, how to form and when to use tenses, but they don't use them properly in practice. They don't use the correct form, or they don't use the tense in the right context. And second, students tend to stay in their comfort zone. You know, they only use the structures they have mastered and feel most confident about. So they don't use more complex tenses and verb forms. For example, I have observed that a great deal of intermediate level students stick to present simple even when present continuous would be more appropriate. The same goes for using past simple when past continuous or present perfect would be more appropriate. So there are a lot of sophisticated tenses in English, but somehow they remain unused. And the third thing is, a lot of students do not even know the names of tenses. See, saw, have seen, didn't see, was seeing, have been seeing. They simply can't put a name to a tense, which is fine. As long as you get the form properly and you use the tense in the right context, you're on the good track. The bottom line is that it's not enough to know and understand tenses only in theory, on paper, as we would say. You should take it to the next level and use them in practice. Don't stick only to the basic tenses you're confident with. Step out of your comfort zone and incorporate some of more complex tenses to speaking and writing. Use the forms like, I'm working on a project, I've been working on a project, I will be working on a project, rather than just, I work on a project. Of course, it depends on the context, on the adverbs of time, on the time periods. Yeah, we'll be presenting a lot of possibilities to you. But for now, don't stick to the basic tenses only. Upgrade your grammar, upgrade your English, empower your communication. Let me give you 2 tips that will surely work for you as well as for my students. Number 1, listen to native speakers or speakers of advanced English. Let's check out the definitions of those terms. So a native speaker is someone who speaks a language as his or her first language or mother tongue. A native speaker's language is usually the language their parents speak and or the language of their country of origin. Advanced English means high level, highly developed and complex English, but not necessarily of native speaker level. For example, technically I'm not a native speaker, but I believe I have advanced English. At least I do my best to be as close as possible to being a native speaker. So to repeat, listen to native speakers or speakers of advanced English. Notice which verb forms they use and simply copy them. Incorporate more complex forms into your English production. This will help you step out of your comfort zone and advance from elementary to more complex tenses more naturally. Let me back this up with some examples. Here we go. Have you tried it yet? I personally have been doing so, listening to native speakers and imitating them. Because I also have to stay in touch with English, otherwise it gets rusty. And I'll be right here waiting for you to see and hear how you are progressing. Now look at how many complex, advanced verb forms I have used. Have you tried it yet? Present perfect simple. I have been doing so. Present perfect continuous. It gets rusty. Present simple. I will be waiting. Future continuous. Yeah, did you know it exists? Wonderful tense. You are progressing. Present continuous. You see, I could have used only the basic tenses and it would sound like this. Do you try to imitate native speakers? I personally do that because I also have to stay in touch with English, otherwise it gets rusty. And I will be right here. I will wait for you to see and hear how you progress. Nothing wrong, just elementary. So let's analyze the verb forms used in this version of the same message. Do you try? Present simple. I do that. Present simple. It gets rusty. Present simple. I will be. Future simple. I will wait. Future simple. You progress. Present simple. Oh, everything is too simple here. So you see, these are rather simple forms, present simple and future simple, that many of my intermediate students tend to stick to. Now, I'm not making fun of anything or anyone. As I said, I also need to remind myself and train myself and my students to be brave enough and patient enough to replace simple forms with more advanced forms. I talked about it in the video called Upgrade Your English. Here is the link. And once again, don't get frustrated if you don't remember the exact names of tenses. Just make sure you use them in proper form and context and that you play with more complex ones, as I demonstrated earlier. Yes, be playful with English grammar. And the second tip is, when learning or revising tenses, try combining two tenses at a time. This means that you shouldn't isolate one tense and then drill it, but rather compare it to another tense to make sure you understand the differences in forms and usage. This is how I will be teaching you. In most cases, I will be presenting two tenses compared to one another and describe the differences between them. For example, when to use forms like I saw her, or I've seen her, or they broke it, they have broken it, or it changed in relation to it has changed, or it has changed in relation to it has been changing. Another example, I will buy it in relation to I'm going to buy it. And finally, you will improve your English in relation to you will be improving your English because it's a constant process. There is one thing I'm sure of. If you want to improve your English, I'll be right here to remind you and to empower you. So please proceed with grammar lessons by clicking on the links below. See you there. Bye.